In a must-see exchange, Maher challenges CNN anchor Kaitlan over what he describes as the network's blatant political bias, using sharp wit and pointed observations. Maher underscores what many viewers already feel. CNN no longer attempts to appear neutral. He draws attention to the stark difference between the network's upbeat coverage of Kamala Harris and its consistently negative portrayal of Donald Trump. As the discussion unfolds, Collins tries to defend CNN, but her arguments land weakly. Ultimately, Maher moves on as the debate hits a wall of deflection and denial. It's a masterclass in calling out media hypocrisy. Definitely worth watching.
Did CNN just report the news straight? And the crowd burst into laughter. Look, I'm on CNN now. I guess we're on it right now. I mean, they show this show the next night. I don't know how we get away with it with all the fucks, but they do. And all these dirty jokes. But I'm glad, and I'm a big rooter for CNN. But that tells you a lot, doesn't it? I mean, how do you guys think you are doing in that arena of like, this is a terribly divided country. We're not only politicized, a lot of people just hate the other side. And CNN, in my view, should be the place where both sides can watch. How do you think you're doing with that?
CNN is the place where both sides can watch. And I think, my show is evidence of that. We have lawmakers on from both parties. We'll have Elizabeth Warren on one night. We'll have Ted Cruz on another night. I think lawmakers from both parties should take questions.
You don't push Democrats to answer tough questions, so don't claim you do. Bringing on an opposing voice isn't enough to call the coverage neutral. That's exactly what Maher is talking about. The issue runs deeper than simply inviting guests from different parties. It's about how the news is framed and presented. The bias is woven into the reporting itself, shaping narratives in ways that subtly, or sometimes outright, favor one perspective over the other. The mere presence of conservative panelists doesn't counterbalance the underlying slant in how stories are told, which issues are prioritized, and how opposing viewpoints are challenged. If CNN truly aimed to offer an even playing field, it wouldn't only be about who gets airtime. It would also be about how those voices are questioned, challenged, and contextualized within the broader discussion when major stories break. Today, journalists are often granted more freedom to insert their own opinions, letting personal perspectives color how news is delivered. Instead of maintaining neutrality, information gets filtered through individual biases, conscious or not, which shapes how audiences interpret events. A genuinely impartial approach would involve presenting raw facts free of spin and then allowing a range of viewpoints to engage in real discussion. It would require resisting the urge to guide viewers toward a predetermined conclusion that in an ideal world, journalists would lay out the facts, introduce diverse perspectives, and let the audience form their own opinions. But that's not what's happening. Networks, CNN included, frame stories in ways that reinforce certain political narratives, making it harder for viewers to access an unfiltered, unbiased version of events.
300 people from CNN on the ground covering that convention. There were several reporters from just our team alone on the floor, bringing it in real time to people. And I think CNN puts resources behind things and just brings a level of news that you don't get anywhere else. And I think CNN does.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the people on CNN, and what I know what the conservative side of America thinks, and I don't blame them. I watched Kamala's speech last night. It ended at 8:09, I guess 11:09 in the East. It wasn't until 11:23 till the one conservative guy, what's his name?
Scott Jennings.
This Lonely Scott, I call him.
David Urban was there too.
Wait a second. I watched from 8:09 to 8:23, they were just gushing about how great a speech it was. And I think she did fine. I didn't think it was as good as they were making it out to be. But if I'm a conservative in America and I'm watching CNN, just for the straight middle of the road, that's what I hear for 15 minutes, is it's great, and then Lonely Scott. It does look, and when you see the path, it does look like tokenism. It's kind of like the same as The View. It's like it's almost better to have nobody there, like MSNBC, than to have this.
Well, I don't think you could say it's better to have nobody there and then also lament the fact that you don't think the conservative guy, Scott Jennings, who is great, and we have him on my show all the time, spoke up early enough. I think it was a Democratic convention.
If you look back at CNN's coverage of the Republican National Convention, you'll notice a stark contrast in how they handle conservative events. The moment key speeches ended, analysts jumped in with immediate criticism, highlighting what they disliked, pointing out perceived flaws, and framing the discussion with a negative tone. This pattern of instant pushback is consistent whenever CNN covers Republican or conservative gatherings. It's incredibly difficult for a network with such an obvious bias to maintain the illusion of neutrality. At this point, the most honest thing CNN could do is openly acknowledge it. At least then, they'd earn some respect for their transparency. MSNBC, for example, doesn't pretend to be neutral. They openly lean left, and their audience knows exactly where they stand. That kind of candor builds a stronger, more loyal viewership than CNN's approach of claiming neutrality while consistently promoting one side's narrative. Now, let's look at the numbers. In 2021, CNN had about 80 million subscribing households. By December 2023, that number had fallen to 68 million, a loss of 12 million in just 2 years. That's not a minor dip. It's a major decline that speaks volumes about how audiences perceive the network. Even more telling, recent reports show CNN ranking third among cable news networks, trailing behind both Fox News and MSNBC. Their average daily viewership has dropped to roughly 580,000, a staggering 50% decline from the previous year. This trend isn't unique to CNN, as cable news viewership across the board has been shrinking. But CNN's decline is especially sharp. Meanwhile, independent creators and alternative media platforms are surging in engagement. Countless new voices are emerging, proving that audiences are actively searching for perspectives outside of traditional media. This shift is happening because viewers are tired of feeling misled or manipulated. The legacy media model, with its selective outrage and carefully curated narratives, is becoming outdated. CNN and similar networks are a dying breed. It's only a matter of time before they're replaced by platforms centered on truth, transparency, and genuine conversation.
Question, what does explain that?
Your buddy. Man, I don't know. Tucker hates my guts. I mean, I think we all know that.
Well, that says a lot for you.
Yeah, you guys. I don't know how to explain Tucker. I've never met Tucker. Never even spoken with him. He just trashes me because I think it's a bad idea if Russia wins a land war in Europe. And I would remind everybody, I know this is getting serious, but I would remind everybody, if you don't stop Russia there, right, and we're spending maybe 5 to 10% of our GDP, defense spending just on supporting Ukraine so they can fight their own battles. If you didn't do that, if you never gave them any stingers, never gave them any javelins, you'd have a Russian army that is fully intact and also very aware that we don't defend our friends, and they'd be on the border of former NATO countries. If you want to get closer to war, that's how you get closer to war. So what do I make of some random, his opinion who got fired for Fox News? I don't know.
That opinion, which I agree with, is out of step with your own party.
It's about half and half. I mean,
Really?
You can see it in our votes, yeah. But it's an ongoing discussion. And Trump, by the way, has never ran away from it. Trump has always said, first of all, he threatened Putin when he was in office. He said, "But we're going to
With what, a kiss?
In a culture like Russia's, that would be a threat." But no, he said, purportedly said, "I'm going to bomb the shit out of Moscow if you invade Ukraine." In any case, we know he didn't invade Ukraine while he was president. He increased the lethal aid to Ukraine by a lot, actually. And he's never said he's backing away from Ukraine. What he has said is they should be a loan, we should have mining rights, Europeans should pay more, all things I think we all agree with.
Okay.
Except that whole impeachment thing.
Which part? The ones that
Trump was
Democrats
impeached
impeached
for
him for?
withholding aid to Ukraine.
The thing that Biden did before
Good
that.
point.
Yeah,
I forgot about
it's-
that.
Yeah, well, but that's diplomacy, and Biden did the exact.
That's not diplomacy.
Biden did the exact same thing, literally to the exact same country.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
Really?
he did.
What'd he do?
He was bragging about withholding aid unless they fired the prosecutor.
corrupt
they did.
prosecutor,
right,
which is what
exactly.
your party complains about
That's
when it sends aid
diplomacy.
to them.
So American presidents have that power to say, no, we're going to withhold aid because we don't like what you're doing. If our State Department and I'm not bashing Biden for doing that either, by the way.
But Trump was withholding aid
but
because
you
he
can't
wanted an
impeach somebody for
investigation
doing what
into
is
Hunter
within their
Biden.
powers as the president.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think CNN is as unbiased as it claims, or do you feel their coverage leans in a particular direction? Drop your opinions in the comments below, and let's have an honest conversation about media bias and the future of news. I always appreciate your feedback, and I value the different perspectives you bring to the table. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more content like it, Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps independent creators like me continue to challenge mainstream narratives and offer fresh perspectives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.